Uh-oh. Whoa, hang on. Where's my coffee? Oh, there it goes. Ah, I'm not done. I'm a little annoyed by something. I'm gonna wait for Ty to get here. I'm a little annoyed. I'm just, is that Ty right there? There you go. All right. I'm annoyed, so I'm gonna have to rant for a little bit. So y'all just gonna have to deal with this for just a minute. Let me bring Ty in. Add, hit the. Do I need to turn my phone? No, it's coming in. Hold on.
Darling, sweetie darling.
Ty, Ty, Ty,
I'm here.
Ty.
Yes.
I got issues.
Oh yeah, don't we all? Don't we all,
First of
darling?
all, before I start the rant, I want to say I appreciate all your work. I think what
Oh,
you are doing is fantastic and phenomenal. You
oh,
are
friend.
by far one of my favorite live streamers. If I'm ever not working and I see you go live, I'm always tuning in. You just have a way, you have a way of packaging things that make them so simple a dummy like me can actually understand. So
Oh,
I appreciate all your hard work. I do. I do. And I think it's people like you that y'all give me hope. Y'all make me think that there's a way out of this mess.
yes, darling. Yes. All
And
the
so
things.
I'm
I
a little
appreciate you too. I watch you a lot. I watch you usually in the morning. Usually if I'm still up, I'm like, there he is. There's Duran. I gotta watch him. Gotta watch him in the morning. So you all do great work. I think I wouldn't be able to do this without you all. That's the whole issue. I'm like, I'm able to do it now because of you all. So I'm very happy to do it. You know, a
we,
lot of things to
we are
say all the time. So
yes, we are certainly becoming a family, but I'm a little pissed off. I'm a little
hmm
well, no, I'm not pissed off. I'm annoyed. I don't understand something. I don't, and maybe you can help me. But I'm honestly, I'm getting sick of racism. I'm
ah,
actually getting sick. Not the racism, but the people looking for the racism. I just
ah,
read
indeed.
this article with National Geographic. Did you read about this thing in National Geographic?
Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed. Distractions. All the lies. All the
All the
lies.
lies, all the distraction, all the dummies, all the anything to turn people against each other.
Yes.
And I'm just, let me ask you a question, because I know how I got it. I got here because I'm annoyed by it. That's why I'm sitting in the greenhouse now, because I'm pissed off. I'm bothered because I feel like we are inventing racism looking for racism. And we're targeting people who we actually need to work with to solve the big problems of our day. And
Yes.
I can't seem to figure out why people are still trying to make enemies out of the people we need to work together to solve much bigger problems.
Well, we're disconnected from them. We're not part of the community. We disconnect each other. So it's easy to turn on people you don't know. So that's what it is. We judge people we don't know. That's exactly what it is. And we're trained to do so. We're trained to do that. So it's very easy to divide and conquer that way. There's over superficial difference. As you said, racism is not a thing. It's construction. It's construction of manipulation of our appearance because we are going to do that. We're not going to eliminate racism. It's not a thing you can solve because we're always going to have that. We're always going to have people judging each other about how we look. That's why I'm in costumes. People still judge me. It doesn't matter if I was white or not. They'd still judge me for it. They think
You know
clowns
what?
can't have opinions. So
And that's one of the reasons I love you so much is you don't care. And that's the most awesome thing. You don't
love it.
care. It's like, look, this is me. I don't care if you like it or not. It's not
hmm
your place. It's not your prerogative. It's not your anything. And so I get
Yes.
tons of hope from you on that. And I think you've probably dealt with it if you've dealt with it from many sides,
hmm
right?
Yes, indeed.
So, but I have a theory, and tell me if I'm off base. This is what I think. This is what I think racism is. I think well, not all the time, most of the time, at the vast majority. I think that we evolved this ability to recognize a threat, right? Like I think it's a evolutionary thing where things that we are not familiar with, we're scared of. Things we're ignorant of, we can be ignorant to.
Yes.
And so, whether it's not just skin color, it's eye color, it's hair color, it's the clothes you wear, it's how you act, it's your nuances that can bring about fear in people. And so it's like me, you know what? I have eyeism. You know what that means? When I see people with gray eyes, they scare the hell out of me. I don't know why. Why do you got one eye gray, another eye blue, green, brown? It's freaky and it scares me. And I'll admit that I got my eyeism. It doesn't mean I hate people that have that eye. It just means that I'm ignorant of people with different color eyes. I'm used to people with the same color eyes. Why?
Yes.
I can't figure out why can't we seem to get past this and accept that we use perception to identify threats, and if we want to get rid of it, then we need to spend time with people who have different color eyes, a different color skin. If we want someone who,
that makes it. Remember, it's design. The elite want that. Remember, the elite want it. They like that. It's
why
fun.
do they want it?
Use them. Why? Oh, because it makes money.
Why do they want it?
Negativity makes money, remember? Stupidity makes money. Violence makes money. Fear makes money. It all makes money. Gives you control.
Are you trying to say racism is a business?
Who knows?
It's a part of a business model, perhaps?
Yeah, perhaps. Well, apparently, according to some of my friends, they think that if they get rid of a statue, that will fight racism. Oh, yes. That'll do it. That'll do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That should end your drug war, shouldn't it? That should end your drug war. Getting rid of that statue? Well done. Well done, everyone. Very well done with that.
We knocked it down. We're good. Yeah, you know what? And I always get on trouble on that one, though. I get in big trouble on that one because I think you probably know too. You know the history of Robert E. Lee, and you know that he gave up his slaves, and we won't give up our slaves today. I think that's the biggest contradiction on the planet. If he can give up his means of income and release his slaves before the war, but we can't give up our
stuff like that going on. So it's I mean, they do that. I mean, people don't understand how the North was part of that. They're like, the North was fighting it. Is that why New York City was the last city to get rid of slavery? Your liberal hub? Because they're on your side? The corporate masters wanted it. The corporate masters wanted slavery. Yes. So.
And didn't they hold the Native Americans in Kentucky for like 2 or 3 years after the war?
Of course. And made them get rid of their language. Made them get rid of their heritage on purpose. Stripped them on purpose.
And put them in schools.
Wouldn't allow them to speak their native tongue. Indeed. Indeed. That's how they do it. That's how corporate work, darling. So
it is very possible that racism has become a tool that people use in a business model to divide up the dummies so they can continue to invade a world, roll out slavery, roll out a police state, and just continue to dominate. And I can't figure out why people can't see that. Why when National Geographic, when they do this little study, are we racist? And they put something out, everyone's jumping out and they're like sharing the article and they're liking it and they're commenting it. Like this is actually going to help a divided people come together and fight the real issue.
Which we wouldn't be able. Well, we're divided on multiple things too, so that's the whole issue. It's not just racism. They do it on gender. They do it on sexuality. They do it on income. They do it on occupation. They do it on everything. Just division, distractions. Whatever distracts. They'll use anything. They don't care what it is. Black Lives Matter, Ku Klux Klan, money. They don't give a shit. They don't care at all. Language. They'll just come after you. They're ruthless. Ruthless against you. That's what people don't get. They're not ruthless. They're not ruthless against the elite. They're mad at the elite. They're mad, but they have no precision in their anger. So it doesn't go anywhere. They just manipulate your anger. They use your emotions.
So they pick out the thing. They pick out the thing that we're emotional about, something that will tap into our emotion and allow ignorance to thrive, and walk us into doing what they want us to do.
Yes. Yes, they will. They will do that on purpose. And they know how to. They already know what you're going to do. They know beforehand. They know what to do before you do it. They've pre-programmed it. They're 40 steps ahead of you. 40 steps.
Are you,
Everyone thinks they're going to catch
wait,
up to them. Oh, we know how to resist these people. No, you don't. You don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what the problem is. They have no idea. They haven't studied the history of it. They have no idea. No idea at all. That's the funny part. That's why they can't get anywhere with it. They can't get anywhere with it at all. It's really sad. It's really sad. So, but we know why. We know why. That's why I don't want people to turn on the podcast. We know why they're like that. We know why. They're designed to be that way. They're designed to be that way. They use our emotions on purpose. And when we get emotional, when we get angry, we act stupid. We're easy to control because we're not
so you
thinking
mean to
anymore. We're
tell
just
me
using emotion. They know that. They know.
if I go get a PhD, a player-hated degree, are you trying to tell me that I won't be smart enough to know when I'm being played by these people?
You'll actually be more indoctrinated than we are. Your business class is the indoctrinated. It's not us. We're not indoctrinated. The populace is not indoctrinated. Your business and political class are. Your celebrities are. That's how they got to that position in the first place. That's how it works. And then we follow them. They use them for us to follow their control and rule. That's exactly what they do.
That's
design.
Deep. So you're saying the educated among us are actually the biggest problems among us?
Yes, and they're also the least educated, actually.
Wow.
You know how? Because we're doing all the work. They're not doing the work. They're not picking up your garbage. They're not filtering your water. They're not doing any of that. No. We're doing it. We're making food. We're braiding hair. They're not doing any of that shit. They can't do it. That's why they need us to do it. That's why they need us to think we're stupid. Isn't that a nice
how do we wake them up? How do we? Is it possible to wake up the business class and bring them back to the human race? Bring them back to a place of logic?
No, jail. Bye. Bye. Living poison on the world. Living poison. They're a rot eating away at society, and they will go to jail for it. They will go down for their lies. They will. We'll make sure they do. This is what I mean. Conviction. Be ruthless against them. Ruthless. Just as they are you. And then you'll win. Because they can't control your mind. They want control of you as a person. Your mentality, your state of being, your personality, your moods, everything. They want complete control. Don't give them anything. Give them nothing. Give them death instead. Give them nothing. Oh, not them, but that's what I mean. Give yourself that. They're like, well, they may kill you. Well, I may die, but that's all I'm going to do for them. I'm not going to give them any control, and I will relinquish nothing to them. Nothing at all. Withdrawal consent. Withdrawal consent from their system. That's all there is to it. That's it. That's the solution. You will not capitulate in any way to them at all. You will not trust statements they say. Nothing. Nothing at all. Their system is over. The elites are done. It's done.
No
That's
consent.
That's where we need to get to. The people need to understand that their system is done. It is over. So that's all. That's all there is to it. There's no justification for it. It's gone. So you know what I was going to do? You know what I was going to do? I was actually supposed to, before my power went out, I was supposed to do a cast yesterday in Navy gear about people trying to defend the military. I want them to justify the existence of the military to me. I want them to do it. And the Pentagon. We're going to sit there and talk about it tomorrow. We are. I want people to justify it to me.
And do you have anybody that's going to try to justify the military existing?
Yes. Yes, indeed. A lot of people do.
And
that's why they don't say anything about it. Do they say anything about the military? Nobody says anything about it. Nobody contests it at all.
I'm a little spoiled. I'm a little spoiled though, because most of my friends, they don't say stuff like that to me. They don't. If they're behind the military, they don't say it.
Well, not saying it is. What does silence equal? What does silence equal?
Oh, you mean they're quietly sitting back and they're just calling me crazy?
And... No. Well, here's the thing. They're arguing narratives. We're like, well, I can't believe how big the military budget is. No, you don't get to have a military, you dumb cunt. You don't get to have one. You can't invade other people's countries. You can't do it. You have no justification to do it at all. You can't have a UN. You can't have an EU. You can't. Globalism is not a thing. Communism is not a thing.
Nope.
You're forcing yourself on other people against their will. This is not acceptable. We will not allow you to do this. We won't allow you to. You need to retract the military, not defend it in its honor. Fuck its honor. That's ridiculous. That's nonsensical. These people need to come home. They're invading other countries against their will. They need to come home. Tell everyone, make your people come home. Get your family members to come home. Do not sign up for the military bullshit. Don't do it at all. You need to retract all of this. Retract your empire. That's the problem. People need to stop defending this or ignoring that it's there. You can't ignore your military. You can't ignore it. You can't ignore its force around the world. You can't do that. It's not possible. It's just not. But people do it all the time. They do it all the time to blame politicians and care about racism and all this. No, 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 no. You have a military gulag death machine that's killing everyone around the world. You need to dismantle it today. Do it today. Like, you know what I mean?
Do it now.
Yeah. Do it now.
Don't wait. Do it now. Right now.
That's what I say to people. I want them to do it now, not fuck around with it. This is not a joke for people. They think it's a joke. They think they have unlimited time to fix this problem. They don't. They're running out of time to retract this military. They are. They're running out of time to do it. They need to do it. They have to do it.
Yes.
And that fixes half the problem. That's why why does everyone think they're violent? Well, it's because we have no control over our own resources. That's where violence comes from.
Yeah.
If you had control of your own water and food and medicine and everything else, where would the violence come from? Where would it come from? Where would it originate from?
Right.
Nobody's keeping you from anything. It's because your elites are keeping these things from you, and they're causing you to be violent.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why people were going, there's a homeless problem. No, the EPA's keeping houses from you. You see? That's what it is. It's your bureaucracy that's causing it. It's not anybody else. It's your people in charge. They don't get to claim authority and then be like, I'm not responsible, even though I'm claiming responsibility for it. No, that's not how that works. It's just not how it works, you know? So
I love how you worded that. There are no gluts in anything. There's no shortage of anything. They're just keeping it from you. It's in a warehouse. It's under lock and key. You can't get to it, and you're blaming other poor people because maybe they got 2 more than you, but there's a billion of them sitting in a warehouse down the street you're not fighting.
Which is a funny story today. Funny story today about Xcel because we're still without power, and I had to keep going. I keep going to the gas station. He's like, "Well, that's weird that I have power, but all this whole block doesn't." And I was like, "Yeah, because the wind knocked down all the power lines. All the power lines." He's like, "Well, why aren't there power lines underground?" Precisely. Precisely. You're $1 billion company that didn't consider the idea that wind might come in, that might affect you in somehow. And now thousands of people are at your whim instantaneously. This is despicable. This is despicable nonsense, and there's no reason for us to be supporting it. Xcel is a virus. This is ridiculous. And people want me to continue to support this system. I'm not going to. I refuse to do it. I absolutely refuse. Especially because I'm worried about this woman next door. I have an old woman who lives next door to me who has no power. She's 90 years old, lives by herself. I'm terrified for this woman. You know what I mean? We've been without power for a day and a half now. I don't even know if she's alive. I have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. People die when this shit happens. Like, this is why they can't be in control of it. They can't. They just can't be. You know what I mean? Because if something happens, then we're all fucked. So,
but they don't care. They don't care because they don't have to care. So we're busy fighting over race and religion and all these silly, stupid, dumb things, and we're looking to hunt each other down, and we got all these witch hunts going. Meanwhile, they're knocking power lines down in Syria. They're knocking power lines down in the Congo. They're locking power. They're doing it anywhere. They're dropping bombs. So instead of fixing your power, we dedicate all these resources to taking out power of more poor over there. And
I'll still have to pay them. I'll still have to pay them for the power they didn't give me for 2 days. I'll still get a full bill for the thing they didn't provide for 2 days. Yay, corporations! This is fun. But I know why they're distracted. I get the distractions. I get the distractions of how that works. And it's just control. It's just control. They're just pitting everyone against each other. And even the people that don't like black people, which there are, it's 0.0007% of the population. They're not even worth bringing up. That's how little they are. They're just loud. They're loud factions. That's all they are. I said the same thing about Westboro Baptist Church. When I told people, if you ignore Westboro Baptist Church, they will go away. And immediately
they'll go away.
It's because you were paying attention to them. You were paying attention, and that's what made them popular. That's what it was. That's what it is. That's what always. When you censor the other side, they get popular because they're asking, "Why are you censoring us?" That must mean we're onto something, right?
Well,
right. Don't do
that. But you know, the funny thing is, we fail at that all. Isn't that how Trump won? Like, isn't that how he actually took it? Because there's no such thing as bad press. And the liberals were so lost that they were constantly posting Trump, 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 Trump. And he won because there's no such thing as bad press.
Yes, and they weren't paying attention to the economy, which Christopher Hitchens actually warned about. He was like, if the left Democrats and all those people don't start paying attention to that, somebody who is worse than them will take that position. They will. They will take the populist position, and they will win with it. which is exactly what
Yeah.
happened 15 years later. So
Yeah.
they were given plenty of warnings about Noam Chomsky does a 2-hour-long listing of neoliberal crimes. They won't accept it. They won't accept it. It's from Noam Chomsky saying it to them. Noam Chomsky. Still won't accept it anyway. Won't accept any fault of any kind. It's just the other side, which is their side too. That's the funny part. That's the funny part about it. But I get it. But remember, they are conditioned. They're conditioned very well. Remember, they're 40 steps ahead. The elite are 40 steps. They already know. They've planned this long before any of us have even been alive. So that's how that we're trying to catch up to these people. So
they're great at it. You're right. But before we were even born, they were lining all of this up. And that's why I'm always a skeptic. Anytime I see something that comes across the news and they're talking to division, they're talking to racism, they're trying to get people mad about something at each other, as opposed to focusing on the corporations. It's like you're saying, yay, corporations, like all the time, like, man, you guys are doing a great job. Every time something comes up, it's always corporations that are behind it. They're always winning because they're always steps ahead of us. And after we're mad and we're done with the rally and we're finished fighting racism, whatever we're doing, we go to Walmart and we buy a bunch of junk and send it all to the corporations, buy some new tennis shoes or buy whatever and go home. And we can't seem to figure out.
Yeah, you notice the elite are never reactionary? They outweight you. They just outweight you. They wait for your outrage to go. They're like, well, he'll be done in a minute. They just wait you out, darling. That's all they do, darling. They just wait you out. They just wait you out. They wait out your righteous anger. And they give you nothing to burn your flame, and then you're done. And then you have to go back to your life. You have to. They make you do so. You're too tired and hungry and poor to do. They know. They already know. They know everything already. That's why I explained the Quigley formula to people, so that I would get them to understand the level of control that they actually have, because people don't understand their level of control. They think they're in control of some things. No, I mean literally all things. All things. Everything you've ever known. They control all of that. All of it. So if people don't accept it, that's the thing they have to accept first. So that's the spot on truth, because they don't react. They already know how this plays out. They already know the numbers, the statistics. They know how many people are coming to the rally. You're going to write the signs and Black Lives Matter, send the money to you, whatever. You know, you get upset, you yell, scream, run in the street, and they'll sit there and they'll just wait it out. And they'll wait till you're done, and they'll have the next event, and they'll have the next one. And then if you start to calm down and you start to talk to other people and you start to break down the division and people start, the outrage, selective outrage starts to go away, they'll line up the next thing. They'll pay National Geographic to do a study and say, National Geographic's racist. We're going to fix ourselves. And it's just, you keep drumming up to people this stuff. It's like you said, Westboro Baptist Church, the same thing. They'll drum up some Muslim hate. They'll drum up something, anything to keep people fighting over each other, to keep the corporations in control of everything. And they're playing us over and over and over. I guess is what you said. We won't get it until really bad things happen. Some real bad things have to happen. Remember, most of us still won't get it. Many people will go down with the ship. They are. Like our friends and family will go down with them. They are. They're going to go down with that ship. They are. They're going to do it. So I want people to accept that they're going to lose a lot of people. They are. People want to keep this system. They want to keep it. They're not on our. They're not here for us. They don't understand what we're talking about. They think that we're trying to destroy them, and they're trying to use the system to keep us from destroying them, and we're trying to protect them from the system. So we have two competing narratives going on simultaneously. That's the issue. That's the main concern here. Yeah, and they don't get it. They just and a lot of people just won't. They just won't get it. They can't. They're not programmed to understand what we're talking about. They're just not. They don't know that they don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. Well, they can't. They can't.
And that's a phrase of yours. That's a phrase of yours I love too. You don't get to keep it. You don't. Like this whole system, like you have so many people are trying to embrace, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't get to keep your CIA. You don't get to keep the FBI. You don't get to keep your Department of Education. You don't get to keep your military. You don't get to keep any of these things. Because if human life actually is going to go back to being significant and actually mattering, the systems that are designed to make it insignificant all have to go away, even outside of a constitution, because the Constitution doesn't even give room for any of that stuff to exist. But I think the whole system actually has to come down. I think the entire thing, and we need to build something new in its place that respects everybody's rights, respects everybody's space. And like the saying, what someone posted something earlier, I was reading, said, my rights end where your rights begin. We have to go back to just worrying about ourselves in terms of, you know, how I live my life, that's up to me. You have no spot in that. You have no decision. As long as it's peaceful, you have no say in that. And how you live your life, I have absolutely no say. And no matter how well-meaning the idea is, I have no rights to step in your life and tell you how to live it. And I think we have to go back. We have to develop a system that respects. Short of that, things are going to come to an end. But I know you're running out of battery, so I don't want to hold you too long.
Yeah, I'm all right for it. We're going to talk about the fact that people think that they think the system has been corrupted. No, it is a design and feature of the system. The system wasn't. They think the system has been. No. The system is designed that way by definition. That is its function. When they're like, "Oh, we're going to war now." No. Your system is war. That is your system. In law, that is your system. That is what it is, dear. That is what it is. So that's what they don't understand. They don't understand the basis of their own system. They don't understand that. They still don't get the basics of it yet. Still, that's why we can't move on. People are like, "What is the solution?" Well, there is no solution because you don't know what the problem is.
You don't know what the problem is. Yeah. It's
like, what the problem is while ignoring the CIA. You can't do both those things. I know what the problem is, but I get to keep shadow surveillance states. So you don't know what the problem is then. You don't know. Right. You have no idea. That's the problem. So
yeah. It's like fighting hate. It's like, no, your system is hate. Your system thrives. It is a tool of the system. It's designed to prop it up. All of these things that we want to go away. No, your system is, it's like even domestic violence. It's like rape. It's like all of these things that this system thrives on. Corporations all make money on all of it. And the politicians make money on careers from the division and the problems from all of it. The system is designed for problems. If you want the problems to go away, the system has to go away. And we got to construct a new system that's not based on problems.
Indeed. It's based on the community, on the local involvement. That's why we're dumb, because we're not allowed to be involved. They don't want us involved. I don't want people to think that they want us there. They don't. They don't want you in the political sphere. They don't want you in the business class. They don't want any of those things. They don't want it. You know what I mean? They don't want it.
They want you.
That's why they can't fight racism. I'm like, but you're not fighting racism. How many black people are on Wall Street? None. There are no black CEOs. That doesn't exist. That's not a thing. So how does getting rid of a statue fix that problem? How does Starbucks apologizing fix that problem? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
The system still doesn't allow black people to succeed. Jeffrey Sterling of the CIA has been in jail for 10 years because he came out against the CIA discriminating against black people. My mother herself is an AT&T whistleblower because they won't hire black people. It has nothing to do with Starbucks. It has to do with your system, guys. Your system is doing it to us in law. That's the problem. They don't get it. Right. They think it's a mentality issue or something. It has nothing to do with mentality. The elite don't care what your ideology is. They don't give a shit. They don't care at all. They're just using it for control. So,
right. Anything you care about, they'll take it and they'll use that to make sure that you're in support of it. Right. And that to me,
including your good intentions. Including your good intentions. They use your good intentions against you.
Right. Right. Yes. And, so if you're fighting hate, they'll give you well-meaning hate, and you can go out and fight hate with hate, and that gets nowhere, but people still do it.
Well, their hate's not directed. Hate's not bad. I don't know why people think hate is bad. No. We hate racism. We hate greed. We hate rape. It's just you hate the wrong. We're hating the wrong things. We're hating other people. We're hating people that are not us. That's the problem. That's what we're hating.
Right.
So
other poor
it's about
people,
how your hate is directed. That's what it is. It's direction of your anger and rage and hatred. That's what it is. So because they can steer
applying applying it to a root cause solution, something that actually goes after the actual problem and not the other side that they're playing against you to keep the problem perpetuated.
Like Medicare, for example. We're just we want Medicare for all, right? But your Medicare system is a for-profit scam for the Fed, so you can't get it because it's for-profit. So as long as your system is for-profit, you can't get Medicare. You're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to you're not paying attention to your actual system. They're trying to defend Medicare because they want the idea of medicine. Well, you could determine your own medicine if the Rockefellers weren't in charge of it, which they have no right to be in charge of it in the first place.
Right.
So that's the issue. Yeah. People need to take their control back from these goons is what they need to do. So.
Well, they don't hand them the solutions. They let the solutions come from top down anyway. It's not like So in terms of, you talk about universal health care, and I don't like these names. You know what, the name I like to call it "Don't Let People Die." Very simple. If you call it "Don't Let People Die," then it's what we've always done, right? It's not anything new. It doesn't get started with America, whatever. We never let people die. If people were dying, we'd give them medicine. We go climb the tree, get the berries, the juices, whatever, rub it together, cook it, boil it, do whatever, and take care of them. Tribe to tribe, we always took care of people and we didn't let people die. It's real simple, but the elite see it coming a mile away. They say, the monkeys, they're gonna go for this. So what do? How do we take this universal health care? We'll turn it into a for-profit system so the insurance companies can make a lot of money. We got to screw somebody on the other side, because if we screw someone on the other side or we make them pay a lot, then we can get them fighting these people, and that way neither gets what they want. The insurance companies, they get everything they want. The pharmaceutical companies get everything they want. The politicians get everything they want. And the dumb monkeys that are fighting each other, they will never get anything they want. And so they continue to die. Everybody gets a little of something, but they get a whole lot of hate to keep fighting the other side, and the poor people never get anything.
Yeah, they get promises. They get promises so long as they do the work.
Promises. Yes.
And if they do the work first without getting what they want, they can just keep promising it to you. Oh, we'll get it to you eventually. Yeah. We'll just do this. Do this for us, and then we'll do that for you. Yeah, we'll do it. We're here to help you, darling. We're here to help. The elites are here to help you, sweetheart. We're here to help. To protect you from yourselves, darling.
I want a plaque.
I want to understand.
I want a promise plaque.
The elite actually believe that. The elite actually do believe that. They believe that they're here to protect. That is their duty, to protect you from yourselves. They think you're too stupid to rule yourself. They do. They legitimately think that. They do. It's in their creed, like it is. That
Absolutely.
They think they're trying to protect you. Yeah, they do. They do.
They
need to get over that.
They insult our intelligence. But guess what? Ty? But we keep going back and we keep voting for them. And that's why they keep doing it. We keep going back and we keep proving that we're not capable of critical thought. We're not capable of identifying the actual threat. We're still blaming the other side, who's a victim of the same exact systems, and we keep voting for those people. So why would they have no incentive to actually do anything? Their incentive is to continue on with the same, because we never hold anybody accountable. We're so scared of the other side, and nothing ever changes. I think it's a great strategy. I think they're genius. I think they made a phenomenal system, and it's working great.
They're impressive. Yeah. The system's working perfectly, actually. The system's working great. It's doing perfect for the people who created it. It's doing great. It's not broken at all.
It doesn't need a tune-up.
But remember, that's what I mean.
It's not broken.
The reason why people don't do it, is because, remember, there is such a thing as marketing and propaganda. That's a thing.
Yeah.
So we can't blame ourselves for it.
It is a thing.
I understand people want us to blame ourselves. Well, we're not taking any action, and we're too stupid to do it. Well, whose fault is that? We didn't make ourselves stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't tell Harvard to keep information from me. I didn't tell the CIA to keep information from me. They're choosing to do that. So if you're making me intentionally ignorant, how's that my fault? Yes. How are blacks stupid? Yeah. If you didn't allow blacks to read until 1924, and then you're wondering why they're ignorant. That's why. You did it to them. Yeah. You can't blame them for things you did to them. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable at all. It's just not, You can't make people intentionally dumb and then blame them for it. That's not a thing. That's just not a thing. If you design the car and the car explodes, that's not the car's fault. It's your fault. You designed it. That's your fault, dear. Yeah. So the elites are always responsible because they're claiming responsibility. They're claiming to be in charge. That's what being in charge means. So if you're in charge, you're responsible. Doesn't matter if you yourself did it or not. You're responsible. You're claiming charge. Yeah. I'm not claiming charge, so I'm not responsible for what I do. I'm not. So that's not how that works. Yeah. So, not for my reactions to their rule. I'm not. Not for me. No. So.
Yeah, and we keep them in charge, though. We keep them there because we don't want them to leave. We want them to take care of us. We're so scared of other people that we want them to stay in charge. And we keep clapping, we keep dancing and singing, we keep promoting them. And so I guess they really are in charge. Whether they have the right to be in charge might be another question. But they're in charge because we all consent and we keep them in charge. Mm-hmm. We keep listening.
And they won't allow us to have the alternative to them. They won't allow us to consider that or talk about it or discuss it or do anything about it. They won't let us do that. They're keeping us from that. It's not that the solution isn't there. We have the solutions. We already know what they are. They won't allow you to have those solutions. They won't allow you to. That's what it is. They just won't allow you to at all. At all. They're not having it. So
No.
But it's going to take a while to wake up to that. Remember, we didn't become woke in a day either. Like, it took years and years of time, like it does. We're trying to catch up to these people. We're trying to catch up to them because we're never going to
Yes.
we're not going to beat them at the rate we're going. We just can't. We're just too far behind. They've
Yeah.
had too much of a headlong start for us to be just like, now we're going to do it. Like, that's not going to work. It's just not, Things have to get exponentially worse before they can get better. For people actually wake up to the reality that they're not secure, because they still think they have safety or they can get safety, and there is no security or safety. It's just not real.
No.
They're just not real things. So, you're never going to be safe. You're never going to be safe, ever.
That's just supposed to be safe. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is
You're
life.
not supposed to be safe. You're not supposed to be safe.
It's the life.
When you're safe, when you're safe, you act like the elites. That's why you shouldn't be safe. That's why. Specifically,
you want to go golfing all the time. You want to go out on the yacht. You want to have some fun. You want to, you don't want to fight with other people. You're living a good life. They don't want you to have that. And that's like you said before in the very beginning, which they keep these things from you. And you can't figure out why you can't get anywhere. You fight your neighbor for these things. They keep a good life from you. They keep freedom from you. And you keep fighting over things that you yourself say that you don't get to have by consenting to the system. Totally agree.
And they're very safe. And they're very safe from everything. That's why they don't care if we go to war. We can go to nuclear holocaust. You can overthrow the government. They don't care. They're fine.
Yeah.
They're completely safe. I want them to understand that about their elite. They are completely set. They have you. They have you by the balls. They got you. Sorry. They got you, dear. They just got you. So, and I need them to understand that. I need to get to that point. So
you're saying I can't vote my way out of it?
You could try. Seems to be working great so far. I tell people that all the time. Yeah, that's working great now, isn't it? Seems to be working great. You're doing a good job.
I think things are getting better all the time, aren't they? I can feel it.
I always ask how's Chuck Schumer doing? Doing pretty good? Chuck, good old Chuck?
How's Seth Rich doing? Yeah, Seth is doing good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things are getting better all the time.
All the time, darling. It's just
all the time.
All the lies.
Yeah.
Remember Facebook? Well, I know that we fucked up due to our power and control and money. You know what you should do? Give us more power and more control and money so that we can fix that.
Yeah, we're going to fix it.
On purpose.
Yeah. Isn't that what he said? He said it live on television. You know what? I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball. I didn't control and censor enough. I got to control more and censor more. You got to give me more power. And I won't ever let it happen again. And meanwhile, people are just clapping and they're all excited and happy. Yeah, he's going to fix the problem. The billionaires are going to save us again.
Yes, Massa. Ooh, Massa, thank you so gracious, Massa. Love it. Love the Tobies. I love me some Tobies.
You's gonna fix it for us, boss? You's gonna fix the cotton gin, boss? I appreciate you. Oh, we's good. We's doing good, isn't we, boss? I know. I'm gonna make the Kool-Aid.
We do good. Oh, I love it. I love it, darling. I love it. It's fabulous.
Oh my gosh.
That's exactly how it is, darling.
We are locked in the slave mind. We are slaves, and we love our cages. I think that's the really sick thing about it. We are some slaves, and we love our cages. So much that we're going to place the next generation in those cages too. We're going to teach them from very young. I'm going to make you, to follow in my footsteps and love slavery too. Yeah, I think it's a really sick thing, but we all races, all groups, we are in this society, we are locked into a slave mentality. And it's the sickest thing I've ever seen. I laugh about it, but it actually is, it's like almost like a mental illness if you really think about it.
Oh, it is, yes. We're locked in the cage, and then we're actually attacking the people that are trying to open the doors to the cage. Because those people think that we're actually going into a cage.
Ooh.
When we're actually already in one trying to escape. Isn't that great? That's the best part. And we have other commentators attacking other commentators in the cage, not anybody who's actually constructed the cage. This is the problem we have. This is the main issue here. We don't think we're in a cage. We don't think we are. We think we're going to be into a cage later when we're already in it. Yeah. We've been in it the whole time. So, but if we grow up in a cage, how are we supposed to know we're in a cage? How are we supposed to know if we were grown up in it?
Yeah.
There's no way to know.
Yeah,
it's the only thing you've ever known is the cage.
Yeah. Well, right, because you want to fight to keep it because the cage feels good. The cage, you have a nice car in the cage. You got a nice house. You got wall-to-wall carpeting. You got retirement. The cage feels good. So when somebody wants to bring the cage down, you'll fight it. And so when the slave runs off the plantation, you're willing to fight him. Why would you run away from Massa? Massa treat us good. We got good retirement. Why would you're just crazy, dumb as the day runs long. You're just a wild slave. You need to sit here and be nice with man. And I think that's the scary part is people aren't really willing to admit how sick all of this actually is.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. And when they start going down there, it terrifies them. Part of my pack members and friends, they actually tell me, I don't want to know. Because they know I know. And they know I'll say it. But they're like, no, I don't want to know. I know you don't. That's why you can't change anything. That's why you watch SNL and John Oliver and you think that that's news. See?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to know. And I do know. I've gone down that. I've gone down the road. I've studied how they work, all the debauchery. I know I've gone there. I'm able to study it with that and remove myself from it, realizing that I'm not a part of it, but also being able to look at it from the outside. It's very hard for them to do it. Most people won't accept the pedophile ring and all this other stuff we talk about. They won't accept it. They won't go down there. They won't go down that path. It's too hard. It's too heartbreaking. It's too hard to accept that all these things are true. So
my government's not.
If they don't, it just makes it worse. It just makes it worse the more they ignore it. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. That's all it is. They have no choice. They have no choice but to accept it. And one way or the other, they will, because it's going to come out. As you've noticed, all the truth comes out eventually. It might be 40 years later, but it's coming out. It's going to.
It's always. Yeah, but they don't accept it.
I don't get people distracted by it because that was my problem. I had a problem with Martin Luther King Day. I don't know if you did, but I was angry about Martin Luther King, as Chris Lewis was. They didn't give a shit about that. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Martin Luther King died 50 years ago. Who gives a shit? Dismantle the drug war now. It's still happening right now. You're doing it right now. We're alive today, and they're killing us. Like, you need to fix the problem. Nobody gives a shit what happened to Martin Luther King. We know. We already know what happened. We told you in real time that he was killed by the FBI. We know. We already know that. There's nothing more you could learn from that incident. You just need to dismantle the system that caused it. That's all there is to it. That's it. You don't get to quote the FBI today against Trump, the same FBI that murdered Martin Luther King Jr. What are you doing? What are you doing, people? What's going on? Come on. Come on.
Oh, God. I didn't even think about that one. You know what? You always bring new ones up. I didn't think about that. So a day after quoting Martin Luther King, you're actually posting FBI's going after Trump. And this is the same organization that got away with murdering the guy you just posted up yesterday that you're supposed to love. This is sick, man. This is, oh my God. Oh my
Ta-da! This is why it's fun. This is why it's fun to be a live caster, because if people can't do anything, they just have to sit there and go, oh, I didn't really, You got to think about it. You got to think about it for a minute, guys. You got to do it. You got to think for a minute here. You got to do it.
But you know what? But you're right, too. People don't want to think about it. Like, it's an ugly thing for them. I get it. Like, if they've built their whole life up on this system, they don't want to talk about things like the crime bill. They don't want to go there. They want to just embrace it and just pretend they don't see it. Like, I still have friends who know better. Oh, they know better. They know exactly what the crime bill is. They knew who was in support of it, but they're still trying to support and put those people back in office who are, and these are it's the same people that got signs in front of Starbucks. It's the same people where, they're fighting racism, but they're putting the most racist people going that have proven to you through legislation and speeches that they hate you. Yeah. And you still want to vote for them over this other guy in office. And it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind.
Well, they have good intention. You see that they have good intention. It's just that their good intention can be manipulated, and they don't think it can. People don't think they have misapprehensions. They don't think that's a thing. They don't think they can be mistaken on that, or that they're good. They think because they have righteous goodwill and love, that therefore that can't be used as a weapon. They don't think love can be used as a weapon against them. They don't think that.
Yeah.
And everything indicates that it is. You know what my example is? Marvel movies, all superhero movies. Why do you think all superheroes have to be covered? Because they know that because they'll use their family. The villains know they're going to protect their family. They know that. They know they'll sacrifice themselves for their family. They know that. Yeah. That's why they have to be covered so that they can't be identified. So that you can't use blackmail of their family in good nature and wanting to save people as a weapon. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's why they go after their family members. That's why they do it. They know. They already know. They already know it. That's why we can't be so distracted by our liberalism and optimism that we don't understand that villains know how to utilize that against us. They do. They know how to do it. That's why we don't win. That's why we're not winning. Because we're just so staunch in our liberal love everyone. We love. That's not a solution. It doesn't address the problem. It doesn't address anything. It's just platitudes. It's just emotional platitudes. And they know how to utilize emotional platitudes. They're the ones who constructed them for you in the first place. That's the problem. So Orwell, darling. People just need to read Orwell and not pretend that they read him. Because a lot of people pretend they read it. They didn't read him. They didn't. Yeah. They didn't at all. Not at all. I know when people lie about Orwell. I know they did. They just lie right to my things about it.
But like you said, still, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to admit that I was indoctrinated to support people that hate me. I was indoctrinated to embrace a system that doesn't give a damn about me at all, no matter who you are. You know, and that's it's embarrassing. It's scary. If I have this PhD and these bachelor's degrees and all this stuff, I'm supposed to be so smart. I don't want to admit that I was played, you know, and so they'd rather perpetuate the system and keep it going. Which is why. Yeah.
They'll use your fear of shame. That's what they'll do. And people think they go, well, I know people that go, oh, I'm not ashamed. I'm as proud as ever. No, dear. Pride is the cause of shame, not the opposite.
Right.
That's why. That's why. Your pride is what's causing it, dear. That's what's doing it. It's your pride. That's why it's a sin. That's why they call it a sin. So
you have to break it down and willing to be wrong, and you have to let it go. We still, but we're still in this place where we still got people who refuse to say Obama bombed everybody he did, that he dropped more bombs than any president ever. That oh, well, he was the first black president, they say. I said, yeah, but he killed more brown people than any president we can ever remember, except for maybe Bill Clinton. I mean, the Clintons, that's a little different. I mean, you voted for his wife, but through the crime bill and what they did with the Welfare Reform Act, all the brown people they killed, you know, it's just like, right. But then on the other side, you still got Trump people who are still 100% lock, stock, and barrel. Trump is taking on the deep state. He's fighting for us. He's gonna make America great again.
We're like,
but
okay.
That's
also a loud faction. They're a loud faction too. They're just like, actually both sides are. The side that supports only the liberals is a loud faction. The side that supports only the conservatives is also a loud faction. They're just loud. They don't represent the rest of us. Yeah. The majority already knows what's going on. We're just not vocal about it. We're not loud because we don't have to be. We're right. We're right empirically. So we don't have to be loud and obnoxious like they are. We don't have to do that. So they have to because they're wrong. That's why they have to do that. So.
Well, yeah, but it was like pod people, right? You got to keep your pod people going. You got to keep cheering each other on, keep going. And I agree with you. I think the majority of people in this country get it. The majority of people actually understand, but the majority of people are quiet, and facts are boring. You know, no one wants to put the facts on the news. They want to put the sensationalism deep on the left or deep on the right on the news. If you're speaking common sense, you're not newsworthy. It's not interesting. You know, and I think that's where we lose.
Most people do want to speak it. I think most people do, but remember what we talked about? There are consequences for telling the truth. So they won't. They'll lie.
Yeah.
To avoid consequence. Yeah.
Wow.
Just like Hollywood does. Hollywood doesn't. We just lie. Oh, there's no pedophile ring. Because if we talk to you about it, our paychecks end. So we can't talk to you about it.
Right.
It's that simple. Consequences for telling the truth. That's all there's
to Hollywood, that's another whole discussion. Oh my gosh.
I work in show business. I'll be there tonight. I have a show tonight. I have to pretend like none of this shit's happening and go perform with people that have no idea this is going on. So I do it every day. Every day, darling. It's frustrating too. Hollywood is frustrating. Show business is frustrating. It really is. Yeah. It's terrible.
And they won't let you speak up. Right. Like, and you speaking up, that's the end of your career. If you interface with the wrong person and you say the wrong thing and you say something that's actually moderate that makes sense, they will throw you out. There are so many actors.
This is why I do this now instead of doing shows, because they're like, we hate you. You're saying things you're not supposed to say. I know, I'm going to say it though. I'm going to say it to you anyway. I'm going to say it right to you. So, oopsie doodles. You know.
Yeah, and somebody said, Ellen just said we have to boycott Hollywood. What do you think about boycotting Hollywood?
Good luck.
Yeah.
How will you boycott them? How will you do that?
Mm.
Celebrities? You're gonna boycott celebrities? Which celebrities? They're all Hollywood. How are you gonna do that? Movies,
Yeah.
music, art?
Yeah.
You're gonna boycott art? You can't boycott art. That's not a thing. That's not a thing at all. They know that. That's why they're using it. They
That's
know
why they're
very well.
using it.
It's just
Yeah.
mainstream people. It's corporations in charge of artists that are the problem, not the artists themselves. You know, we can
Right.
still have artists on that. Most of those people don't know what's happening. Deborah Messing and all of them don't know what's going on, or they do, and they're not allowed to tell you. It's one or the other. They either don't know or know and are not allowed to tell you. That's it. It's
Right.
the only two options left for them. You can't be in a
Right.
position like that and either not know or know and not tell you. That's the only way. You know. So
Yeah. And that's
it only makes
interesting.
sense.
That's one of the few industries that you cannot boycott. You're right about that. I mean, you can walk away from it, but the reality is that every day there's another million people born that love it, that are going to embrace it. And it's kind of like telling people to get rid of their cell phones. People are not going to get rid of their cell phones. They're not going to stop going to the movies. They're not going to stop watching the Kardashians. They're not going to stop watching their reality TV. And that's, you're right. That's one place they got us locked. You can't do anything about Hollywood.
What we could do is we can still have all those things as long as we are in control of them, but we're not. Corporations aren't. We can still
Right.
have movies because we
Right.
can star in those movies. You know what I mean? It's just that Hollywood won't allow other people to do that. You know, they're in control of it. It's about control. So we can do all
Right.
the things that people are like. The society is going to collapse if you get rid of the system. No, it just has to be reinvented. We can still have
Yeah.
all these things. You can still party and drink and do all that stuff. There's no problem there. It's just we need to be in control of it, not other
Right.
people for us, because we're
Right.
not children. We're also adults with these people, so they can't treat us like we're children of them, because we're not. We're not children
Yeah.
of them. You see?
Yeah.
So Big Brother. That's why it's called Big Brother. They're trying to. Oh, we have you. Did you do your homework? Did you eat your broccoli? Did you
Did
go
you eat your
here?
Wheaties?
No, you're not my fucking father. Stop. They need to stop. Your government needs to stop telling me what to do. That's the problem. That's what conservatives are trying to tell our dense ass. Leave them alone. Leave them alone.
You
That's
can't
it.
stay home by yourself. You can't take care of yourself. We have to take care of you. You know,
Right.
if we're not here, you're gonna fall apart. Like I said, I cheer for the system to fall every day. Every day I wake up. Did the system fall yet? No, it didn't fall yet. Oh darn it. All right, did the system fall yet? No, it didn't fall. Did Wall Street crash? No, it didn't crash yet. Dang it. You know, I'm just waiting for it to fall, because the reality is when it happens, nothing's gonna happen. People are
Yeah.
convinced that the power is going to go out and cars aren't going to drive and you won't have gas, there won't be food at the grocery store. That's not how it works. The society will still go on. It's like we had the government
They will try to make it
shutdowns.
that way now. Remember, they try to do that. They will try to artificially create that chaos, which is
Oh,
why
they
they
will
do all
try
this in
that.
the first place. They will
Right.
do that. They will create that
Right.
chaos. They will do it on purpose. And so we have to know that they are going to do it before they do it. We know they are. We know they're going to. The
Right.
moment it happens, they're going to be like, blacks did this, and the Ku Klux Klan is in charge, and this has happened, and the gays are here. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. We know they are. So we can't be baited into it. Don't repeat the narrative when you hear it, because you know you're going to hear it. Didn't we say that about Syria? We're like, the moment they do it, they're going to cause chaos. We know that, because now we found out that Syria's alive. They're like, well, actually, this happened, and we're going to do it. See, they just get more and more hysterical. They get more and more and more. They amp it up more and more and more, so you can't process it. They want you to react. They want you to react. You know, you don't have time to think. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and they build a narrative up, right, with controlled opposition, because now even the most anti-war people on TV that are popular, they're still saying, well, Assad did it and there were no chemical weapons, or there weren't as many, but we shouldn't have bombed them. Like they'll speak against the bombing, but they still reinforce the narrative that there actually were chemical weapons, and there were absolutely no chemical weapons at all, whatsoever. In fact, the interview, what did they say in the interview? Basically that the doctors and the nurses were taking care of people in the hospital. One guy came in and said it was a chemical attack. And so just by procedure, they started washing everybody down and taking preparations. But the doctors and the nurses were like, there were no chemicals. We weren't treating anybody for any chemicals at all. They were treating from inhalation from the dust because of the bombs, you know, the explosions. And so, but people don't hear that. All they hear is that it was a chemical attack. We did the attack. Now, what did the president say? We're locked and loaded. We're ready to go again. And they're just behind him, as everybody was behind, where they were behind Obama when he did his bombing, you know. So
in the same country. Well, and that's still a narrative, though. That's us still arguing over the narrative because nobody goes back to the base question: was your country invited to Syria? Was it or was it not?
right,
It wasn't.
that's it.
Leave.
No.
Ta-da!
Leave. Bye.
Solutions.
Yeah.
You weren't invited. Leave now. Get out now.
Are you there?
Russia
Now.
was invited,
Do it
everyone else
now.
was invited, your country wasn't. Leave now. Get out. That's all there is
Do
to
it.
it.
You are uninvited house guest. Get out now. You're not supposed to be there.
You invaded the
Now,
country. You invaded them. Is what you did. Home invasion.
Yeah.
Home
It was
invasion.
a home
That's all that
invasion.
was.
It's
So,
a home invasion. You're killing people. You're planning on robbing them because you want an oil pipeline. Get out now. You're not supposed to be. You weren't supposed to be there when Obama sent you there. You should still be there when Trump has you there. You're not supposed to be there. It's not your house. You don't live there. You don't have no houses. You don't have an address, zip code. The post office don't mail you nothing over there. Get the hell out now. I'm with it. Simple solution.
And the same thing could be said for every single country we're in. Every single one. Nobody's invited you there at all. No one. No one at all.
No one. Nobody wants you there.
Nope.
Nobody wants
you here. We don't want you. Retract your
Nobody's knocking
military
on your door
today. Yep. That's it. That's it, dear. That's the solution, everyone. That's the solution, dear.
You're thank you. Amy said it. You're trespassing. Nobody wants you there. Go home now. Pack your stuff now. Get your bullets, your bombs, your guns, your drones. Get them now and go home. Go home where somebody wants you. Nobody wants you there. And I think, very simple. Very simple.
Like, all the solutions are simple. They're all very simple. It's just people don't. They're just like, but we think we get to do all those things because we're conditioned to think that. I was like, I understand why you're conditioned to, but if you actually ask that question, they go, well, we don't really have any. So then why are you doing it? Don't do it anymore. Right. Don't support it anymore. There's no reason for you to do it. Well, it's against the grain. I know. Do it anyway. It doesn't matter if it's against the grain. That's why your founding fathers hate democracy.
Right.
Your elites love democracy. Your elites love it. That's why they're giving it to everyone else against their will. They love democracy, sweetheart. They love it. They're all about it all day long. All day.
It works so well. It works so well with people educated up the wazoo. It works phenomenal in the United States. You've basically taken one of the highest educated countries on the planet and you've made them complicit with the worst evils that have ever been done to anybody, women, children, poor people, and they keep asking for more. You know, but you're right. The problem is simple. And this is where I lost it with Obama. They almost for a moment got me to vote for him. Almost. When he said, we need to end the wars now. He said the simple solution, we're not supposed to be there. We shouldn't have been there. We need to bring the troops home now. We made a mistake. He actually said that. And he became the president, and hell no, he had nothing to do with that. At that point, it was didn't bring anybody home for 6-7 years. And so, but you're right. The problems are simple, but they convince people that, oh, well, we can't bring them home right away, you know, because we gotta, and something will happen, and the power vacuums. And I think that's the beauty of just being wrong and admitting, no, we were wrong. We shouldn't be there. We should come home now. Any problems that happen after that? Well, I guess we got to pay to fix it. We spilled the milk. We shouldn't have went. But I think when you're accountable, when you have integrity and you're willing to step up and say you're wrong, which is why no politicians are ever wrong. None of them, Democrat or Republican, they're always right because they never have to admit they made a mistake. And so they never got to go with the simple solution. All the solutions are hard. All of them. Even ending the drug war. Very simple. The drug war shouldn't be there any way, form, shape, size, no matter how you look at it. None of it should be there at all. It should end right now, period. There's no negotiation.
Obama was very good about, and he's very good about newspeak. He's very good about the wooden tongue, the langue de bois. That's why he says things like, we made a mistake. No, dear, you did it on purpose. It wasn't a mistake. Mistakes are things you didn't mean to do. You meant to go there. You're lying to me. You're lying to my face. Lying to my face. Oh, I know Newspeak. I read Orwell. I know what it is. I know Newspeak. Yeah. That's what they use, political jargon. They just say whatever, you know, We're going to take responsibility as if it's a novel concept, as if it's something new that who know? Oh, we're going to do that now. That's what we're going to do. You know, they use things like, or they're like when they give new plans, like we're going to do this. We're going to the task forces, and we're going to roll things. We're going to have a rollout of this, especially the rollout of things that are not round. Notice when there's Orwellian speak. They use language. They use everything. Everything. All the things.
All the things, all the time.
All the time.
All the things.
That's what they do. Endlessly.
Yes.
All the time. Ruthless.
Yes.
Continuous. They're ready. They're ready for you. That's what I mean. We need to be ready to take them down because we're not. We're still like, well, maybe we can appeal to them. Maybe they'll protect us from guns. Maybe la 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 la. No. Living poison. Living rot on society. They need to go away. That's all there is to it. Jail. Everyone goes to jail.
Not be there. Yes. They need to go away now. We don't need to pause it. We don't need to modify it. We don't need duct tape. The whole system is dirty from top to the bottom. The whole thing has to go. And I think people know that, like you said, but I think they're scared to admit it. That's what it comes down to.
Well, that's what the funny part is. This thing will collapse around them. It will collapse around them one way or the other. So they'll have to accept it. They'll have to. They don't have a choice. That's why we keep winning. That's why they keep listening to us, even though they don't want to. Well, they have to because we're telling the truth about it. The system is collapsing. They're watching it collapse, and we're not. And if you notice, we're not shocked by it. They are. They're shocked by every headline. We're like, no, we knew they were going to do that. We know why and who funded it. We know all of it. It's already there. It's already available. You've already been following the pattern. They just don't know what the pattern is yet. They just don't know what it is. And most people, they're going to learn slowly. Like it takes time. It takes time. I just barely got out. I mean, I would have been a neoliberal had I not already been following Christopher Hitchens and other people, because they're the ones who pulled me out of the Clinton thing. And then once by that time Obama was running, and I was like, I see. But I trusted him too. I voted for him the first time. But by the time Occupy Wall Street happened, I was like, bitch. when he was macing me in the street with SWAT teams, I was like, bitch, I will destroy you. I will take you down. That was, and I didn't vote for him the second time, and he won anyway. So guess what? My vote doesn't mean shit, does it? Didn't need it. No. Did I, liberals? Did he need my vote? He didn't need it. Didn't need it.
No, well, enough people are gaslit. Enough people were they were scared of the other side. The other side's gonna be so much worse. And I guess where I'm at now is I honestly don't care. I don't care who wins. I don't care. I don't think there's any difference. It's like TPP. Like now we're looking, TPP's back, and people are like surprised, like, oh my God, TPP is back. It's like, yeah, it was supposed to come back. It was a plan. The plan was handed down, and Hillary got the email before Trump did. But eventually he got the email, and now he's going with TPP. You don't get to choose these things. Everything that Hillary wanted to do will happen. Now, the only thing I didn't talk about yet, the only thing that I predict that hasn't happened yet, that Hillary wanted was mandatory vaccinations. I guarantee you they are coming. There will be a justification. Trump will hand it out. We will have mandatory vaccines. California started, I think California already started doing it. They already passed the law that they'll take your kids if you don't get the adults don't get your vaccine.
Yes, and if we resist it, they'll call us anti-science.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice little label?
Science.
You don't trust corporations rule. Over on medicine.
Meanwhile,
that's a lovely little title. That's lovely.
Meanwhile, it's pseudoscience, but this is where the world is headed. But that's why I don't think that I don't know. Tell you, I have a thought. I don't think big corporations should exist. I don't think that we have a world that does well with that much power that's driven on profit. I don't think anything above a medium-sized, I'm not even sure if a medium-sized business should be legal. I think that all big corporations, they all should be closed up. I think they all should be divided up. I think they're all monopolies. They do everything to support all the things that everybody hates, all the wars. I mean, my God, we got Chiquita Banana is still a business. And this was a business that was caught hiring mercenaries in Colombia to take land, to kill people and take land. And it was proven in a court of law that they were doing this. And still across everywhere in the Philadelphia area, you can't get a banana that's not a Chiquita Banana. How in the hell is this company still in business?
No, they have a lot of money. Well, and corporations are totalitarian by definition. That is what they are. They're totalitarian. They're corporate laws to enslave you. They view resources as commodities against you. That is their function by law. They're actually told in the judiciary to lie to you, to pretend that they're on your side. They're told to do that. They're instructed to do so. That's how corporations work. That's how they work. That is exactly how they work. People think they can trust these institutions. They really do. They really think they can trust them. And it's amazing to me. It's amazing, isn't it? They're so well
Yeah.
programmed. They're very well programmed. It's very well done.
Yeah.
It's very well
And they
done.
won't walk away. They won't walk away because they've got a great salary, they got a great retirement, they got a nice home, they're married to someone, and that person's gonna flip out if they lose their job or walk away from it. They've got a mortgage to pay, they've got kids to put through college, and so they will fight for their slavery. They're gonna fight for that cage. And if you touch that cage door, they're going to tell on you. They'll call the FBI tomorrow. They'll call the CIA tomorrow. They don't care. So, yeah, I just posted something about Martin Luther King, but I don't care nothing about that. I'll call the FBI on you tomorrow.
The very moment you go for the cage, yes, they think we're the ones taking them down. They think we're the ones causing this to them. You guys are not
Right.
supporting us in our thing. Also, you're stupid for not supporting us. Well, that's a good way to get people to unite, is calling them stupid. That's a really good way to do that. It's a really helpful way of uniting with people, is attacking them for not agreeing with you. Really good idea, guys. Real good.
Yeah.
So, no, we're used to. That's why we're just learning. We're a little ape species. It's learning. We're just learning. People need to realize they're apes still. You're still apes. You're gonna make mistakes and do stupid shit. You are. You're 97% chimp. You're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. So
Is it 97? I thought it was 98.
Yeah, it's one minor difference. Minor. It's just we mostly share our DNA. We're a primate mammalian species. That's what we are. So it makes sense. You know, prefrontal lobes that are too big, thumb to finger opposition isn't all that it might be. We evolved. We're slow. We're slow. That's just all there is to it. So people just have too high expectations of their own nature. I'm like, no. You need to understand where you actually are and on the planet here. Because nobody else cares that we're alive. Nobody cares. The plants and animals and the minerals and the gases, nothing cares. Doesn't care at all.
Nope.
It's completely irrelevant to them. So we have
They'll be here
we're the center. So
long after we're gone, they'll be here. So, and they'll evolve, they'll change, they'll become something else. So they could care less that we're here.
Yes. We need to get to that point. We need to start being humble. We need to start being humble about this and not getting staunch and we're gonna take them. No, you don't even know. You have no idea. You need to understand the depths of these people. You need to understand their mentality, how they think, why they do what they do, because people don't. They have no idea how their mentality works. They don't. That's why they think they can challenge them on ethics and like, we'll just appeal to, but you're hurting children. They know. They don't care. They're doing it on purpose. You can't appeal to your children. It doesn't work. There's no ethical appeal you can use. There's no ethical appeal. They don't care. They don't care at all. Hence the position we're in. They don't care. They're not interested.
They don't care.
So, we're interested because we're poor.
And
that's the only reason. That's the only reason.
And they're happy because we are.
Yes.
And they're happy because we are.
They love it. They love it.
Because scarcity has us fighting. And as long as we're fighting, they're good to go.
Yep. That's it. See? Ta-da, everyone. See how easy that is? As long as we're fighting, nothing gets done. That's it.
As long as we're fighting.
Attack your business class. Only.
Yes.
Not attack the populace in any capacity. Attack your business class. Attack your business class. That's what you need. And your Federal Reserve and your central banking of all. That's who's doing it. That's the top.
Focus on the people who are causing the problem, not the other people that they side you against. Always go
reacting to their rule.
With that?
You know? Yeah, and you can't tell rulers how to rule you. That's not how that works. That's not how ruling works.
And they're not going to come up with a law that's going to help you. They're going to come up with a law that helps them. They'll name it something that you like, but the law will always be for them. It's never for you.
Because corporate lobbyists outnumber senators 5-1. So you couldn't do anything even if you wanted to. Right. There is no legislation you could pass. You failed by definition. That's the entire problem. That's it. Right. Your government is over. They're bought and paid for, dear. They're and blackmailed as well. So even if they want to do the right thing, they still can't anyway. Still can't. So
they're just actors, and that's what it is. The job anymore is acting. It is taking things that you care about and making you think that they care and putting together something that will make you go along with it so the corporations get what they want. They are all actors. It is all Hollywood. And
pretending to be on your side.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretending to be on your side, darling. That's what it is. That's all they do. We're on your side. We're here to help. We're here to help, darling. We're here to
help. We're from the government. We're here to help.
Thanks, Reagan. Oh, Reagan. I almost miss him in a way. Almost.
Really?
Almost. I mean.
Really? Why?
I don't know. It seems so simple. Then I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Good
You said
Lord.
that's a song. It all seems so simple then.
Well, not
Why did
simple,
it
but
seem?
it's not simple. It just seemed, I don't know. It's nostalgia. It's like when George Bush said, "I wish there was a French word for entrepreneur." You're like, oh, those were the good old days when we still believed in that right-left dynamic bullshit. Oh, good times,
When it
good
actually
times.
existed, you could have a viable third party almost with Perot. You know, but what's the name died? Did you hear that? Didn't Barbara
Barbara
Bush
Bush.
die? Yeah,
Yes,
did
and
you hear about the
and
thing that
15
she
of my
said? I was
little
watching
friends
it.
said, yeah, 15 of my little friends said, "Rest in peace, Barbara Bush." I was like, "I'm going to strangle you. I'm about to strangle you. I'm about to do it.
but
I'm
but
about
listen,
to
she
do it."
said something. She said something. She said something about somebody can post it in the room if you know, but they were it was I caught it on the news. I was listening for other stuff, but she said something about the secrets she had to keep, like the things she knew that she could never say.
Yep.
Something, there was some sort of quote like that she said, that I guess she was famous for saying before she died, I guess recently. But she said the secrets that she had that she would never be allowed to say. She knew what was going on. She was in the whole thing, even though she
Yep.
stayed out of politics.
Like, there's a lot of people like that in the background that are they have to. It's part of their contract. They can't say anything. They can't say
Mm.
anything. They might be able to say so on their deathbed, but they can't say it before. They have to, or the statute of limitations where they can say it after 50 years or after this much time. And that's it.
Mm.
Most people die with their secrets, though. Most of them do. Most of the ones in power do. That's how they're able to stay in power that whole time. It's because they haven't said anything. They won't do anything about it. They just, lies. All the lies, darling. All the
All the
lies.
lies all the time. So let me ask you a
All the
question. One more question, then I'll let you go. One more
indeed.
question. I
Indeed.
had to come down. I was a little annoyed, National Geographic and this racism stuff. But so, will Oprah as president help us?
I don't know her. I don't know her.
Mm.
I'd be like
Who
Mariah
does?
Carey. I don't know her. I don't know who that
I
is.
don't know.
Who? I don't know who that is. I don't know.
Who does?
Oh, Oprah.
That's a good point. Who does? We don't know Oprah. We have no idea who she actually is. All we
I don't know who
know
that is.
is television.
Mm-hmm. But
So,
you know, that was
so
just
you
a
don't think
celebrity thing. It's just a celebrity thing. They just want you to trust in the establishment. She's part of the establishment. They know you'll trust Oprah. They know that.
Yeah,
They know you'll trust Ellen
yeah.
DeGeneres and
Well,
all. They know that. They know you'll do that. They know you will. So that's why. That's why they use them. That's why they use them for that reason. So they don't care about
it'll
Rosario
get you out to
Dawson
the
or any of those
polls.
other people. They care about Oprah, who's part of the establishment. That's what they care about. So
Right, right. It'll get you out to the polls. It'll piss off the other side. It'll take down all this talk we do in between about how the system has to fall, and you'll go
mm-hmm.
back and you will cheer one side of the
Yep.
plantation. And they know that
Yep.
because
Yep.
they own you. You have
Yes.
owners. You don't have rulers. They own you. It is a
Mm-hmm.
big club, and you ain't in it. And they play you every single time like a fiddle.
Yep. Ruthlessly, and
All
they
right,
laugh at
let
you.
me.
They think it's funny. They think it's funny. So just let
Yeah.
everyone want you to know that they do it on purpose and they think it's funny. So
It is.
they do.
Well, it is funny. I hate to say it, but I laugh at it every day. To me, it is hilarious that we
Mm-hmm.
can't seem to get out of this. And I guess where I'm coming from, I think that we actually can take down the system in a way where people don't get hurt. But the reality is, it's coming down whether you like it or not. Either it's some sort of controlled collapse, or it's going to be a catastrophic one. But
Or free
the
fall. Yeah.
system,
One or the other.
and I think it was designed to fail, though. I think the dollar was designed to collapse. And so it collapses. Like you said, they manufacture a hard time. Everybody cries for government, come help us. They'll come in with a new currency. They'll come in with a new model. They'll come in with a new, better constitution. And we'll be in the same crap in 80 years. And people will be having the same conversation. Why did we go to billionaires and corporations to save us? This was stupid. They always carve a hole out for themselves. So to me, it actually is funny. It's almost entertaining. It's sick, but it's still there's an entertainment element to it that.
Yeah.
Huh?
Gallows humor. Gallows humor.
Yeah.
Gallows humor. That's what
Yeah.
that is. Dark humor.
Yeah.
We'll survive with comedy and dialect. We'll survive. I mean, we will. It's just going to be hard. It's just going to be difficult. So we're going to have to learn how to readjust our entire lives. So, but you know, the only thing constant is change. So we're going to have to deal with it. We're just going to have to.
Yeah.
That's what evolution is. Adaptation over time. So
Adaptation over time. But you got to be smart enough to be wrong. You got to be smart enough to be wrong. That's what it comes down to. And unfortunately, some people are too smart that they're always right. And so we got to stay here. We got to keep picking cotton. All right. Well, Ty, I appreciate it. You got to come back on and have further conversations. I appreciate you getting me off the cliff, taking down my annoyance level. A little bit of sanity is good for the brain, good for the immune system and the heart. Just sometimes these people drive me insane with this division and the constant just supporting all of this nonsense to divide people. So hopefully one day more people get it and we can have some nice things. But until then, if you're someone who still believes in the system, you're why we can't have no nice things. I'm talking to you.
Indeed.
Anyway, Ty, thanks a lot. I appreciate everybody joining. I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye-bye.